While you're watching this video, the universe might already be dead. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Scientists have proposed one of the most terrifying endings imaginable: vacuum decay. Imagine a sudden invisible bubble of death appearing somewhere in space. It expands at the speed of light, and wherever it passes, it doesn't just destroy matter, it rewrites the very laws of physics themselves. The scariest part? You would never see it coming, because no warning can travel faster than light. If this theory is true, the universe could end instantly, without a sound, without a signal, without any chance to react. Today, we're talking about the fourth and most horrifying ending of the universe, the quantum death bubble. We already know the universe had a beginning, the Big Bang. And if it had a beginning, it probably has an end too. Scientists once predicted 3 possible endings: heat death, big crunch, and big rip. But all 3 had one thing in common: they were incredibly slow. They would take billions or even trillions of years to happen. Humanity would have plenty of time to live out its existence. But the quantum death bubble is different. With this ending, you wouldn't even get a chance to be afraid. One moment, you exist, and the next, everything is gone. But the fourth ending is terrifying for one reason: it doesn't play fair. It doesn't need billions of years. It could arrive in the very next second, without any warning at all. To understand this instant doomsday scenario, we first need to understand one mind-breaking concept. What is a vacuum? Most people think a vacuum means absolutely nothing. Take a box, remove all the air, dust, atoms, everything, and what's left should be complete emptiness. But in the 20th century, quantum physics shattered that idea completely. Physicists discovered that even if you remove all matter from space, the vacuum is still not truly empty. Instead, it behaves more like a boiling pot of invisible energy. Tiny quantum fluctuations are constantly happening inside it. Ghost-like particles and antiparticles appear out of nowhere, then vanish again almost instantly. In other words, what we call empty space is actually the foundation of reality itself. The entire universe is built on top of this invisible quantum field. And here's where the real horror begins. Because scientists believe this vacuum might not be stable at all. What if the universe we live in is only a temporary state, and somewhere out there, a more stable version of reality is waiting to replace it? There's one strange rule in quantum physics. Every quantum field wants to settle into its lowest possible energy state. Think of it like a ball rolling downhill. Eventually, it wants to rest at the very bottom of the valley, the most stable position possible. But in 2012, scientists at CERN made a discovery that shocked the physics world. Inside the Large Hadron Collider, they confirmed the existence of a special field called the Higgs field. This field is incredibly important. It gives mass to every particle in the universe. Without it, stars, planets, humans, nothing would exist. But when scientists studied the Higgs field more deeply, they realized something terrifying. The energy state of our universe might not actually be the lowest possible state. Imagine that ball again. It looks stable, but it's not sitting at the true bottom of the valley. Instead, it's trapped in a small dip halfway down the mountain. In physics, this is called a false vacuum. That means the universe we live in, with its stable laws of physics and perfect balance, could actually be built on a temporary foundation. A cosmic trap that has survived for 13.8 billion years, purely by chance. The ball hasn't fallen yet, only because it's been stuck there long enough. But if something triggers it, maybe an unimaginably powerful collision, or a rare quantum event somewhere in deep space, then the ball could finally fall to the true lowest state. And the moment that happens, everything changes. Or maybe it wouldn't need a collision at all, because quantum physics has an even stranger phenomenon: quantum tunneling. In the quantum world, particles can sometimes bypass barriers completely, almost like teleporting through a wall. That means the ball doesn't necessarily need enough energy to roll over the mountain. One day, it could suddenly tunnel straight through and fall into the true lowest energy state instantly. And if the Higgs field ever drops into that true vacuum state, a completely irreversible cosmic disaster would begin. At that exact moment, somewhere in the universe, an incredibly tiny bubble would appear, a quantum death bubble. At first, it might be smaller than an atom, but inside that bubble, the laws of physics would already be completely different from ours. Because its energy state is lower, it would create an unimaginable negative pressure, and that pressure would force the bubble to expand outward at the speed of light. But this isn't like an explosion. It doesn't burn planets or shatter stars. It rewrites reality itself. The instant the edge of that bubble touches anything, a planet, a star, a black hole, even you, it wouldn't face resistance. Every atom, Every particle, every force inside matter would be instantly transformed into the new energy state of that bubble. Chemistry would stop working. Atoms could no longer hold together. Matter itself would become impossible. And the most horrifying part is you would never see it coming, because by the time the bubble reached you, your brain, your eyes, and even space-time itself would already be rewritten. Inside the space consumed by this bubble, the speed of light itself could change. Gravity might stop working. The structure of atoms could instantly collapse. Matter wouldn't simply disappear. It would be violently rewritten into something completely unrecognizable. A reality so alien that our physics could never explain it. And the most horrifying part? This apocalypse would be completely silent, impossible to predict, impossible to stop. Why? Because the bubble expands at the speed of light, the absolute speed limit of information in the universe. That means if a quantum death bubble were racing toward Earth from the Andromeda galaxy, you could never see it coming through a telescope. The light warning you about the bubble and the bubble itself would arrive at exactly the same moment. There would be no red sky, no explosion, no sound. If it hit Earth right now, before a single signal in your brain could even finish traveling between neurons, you, your room, this planet, and every star in the sky would already be gone, not destroyed, rewritten, as if the universe had pressed delete on reality itself. And here's the strangest part of all. This destruction would be perfectly clean. No pain, no screams, no final moment of fear, because the bubble wouldn't just destroy matter, it would erase the very physics that allows pain to exist in the first place. Now, after hearing all this, you're probably feeling a little cold inside, but don't panic yet, because I've got 3 pieces of good news, or maybe cosmic-level dark humor. First, if humanity ever faced a light-speed death bubble, all anxiety would become meaningless anyway. Humans might someday stop asteroids. We might defend against supernovas, but we could never stop something that literally rewrites the laws of the universe itself. You can't see it. You can't outrun it. You can't survive it. So honestly, there's nothing to fear. Eat your favorite food. Get some sleep, because if it ever happens, you won't even realize you died. Second, even though quantum tunneling could theoretically happen at any moment, the probability is unbelievably tiny. Physicists estimate that vacuum decay is so unlikely, it probably won't happen for at least another 30 billion years. Some estimates are even crazier, suggesting it could take 10 to the power of 100 years before such an event ever occurs. By that time, the universe would already be almost completely dead. The stars would be gone, galaxies would fade into darkness, and long before the vacuum kills the cosmos, time itself may have already buried everything we know. And honestly, by the time the universe reaches that stage, does it even matter whether the bubble destroys it or not? But here comes the third, and perhaps most mind-blowing idea of all. If the universe is truly infinite, then in an infinite amount of space and time, even the rarest possible event must eventually happen somewhere. Which means, right now, in some unimaginably distant corner of the cosmos, countless quantum death bubbles may already exist. At this very moment, they could be racing outward at the speed of light, consuming entire galaxies and rewriting reality wherever they go. So then, why are we still alive? Because the universe itself is expanding, and at extreme distances, space expands faster than light itself. That means even if one of those death bubbles is rushing toward us at light speed, it may never reach us. The space between us and the bubble keeps stretching faster than the bubble can travel. In other words, the destruction is permanently trapped beyond the edge of our observable universe. So maybe the quantum death bubble is not the end of everything. Maybe it's only a localized rewrite of reality, a cosmic infection isolated in distant regions of space. And at least for now, after 13.8 billion years of cosmic chaos, we are still here, alive, looking into the darkness, wondering if the universe is far more fragile than we ever imagined. But the part that truly sends chills down your spine isn't whether the bubble will arrive today. It's realizing that the universe beneath our feet may not be as stable as we always believed. Sunlight shines, air is breathable, gravity holds us to the earth, atoms stay together, life exists, and we assume all of this is normal. But maybe these things only work because so far, the rules of the universe haven't broken yet. The cosmos was never obligated to remain stable forever, and reality may be far more fragile than we imagine. When you look up at the night sky, everything seems calm and eternal, but somewhere beyond what we can ever see, a collapse powerful enough to rewrite existence itself may have already begun. I'm Lao Ma, and I'll see you in the next universe.